you. And gentlemen, as we welcome you live to the Pope Prep live stream, where we have your Pope Francis Cardinals taking on the visiting Agawam Brownies. I'm Dom Percy here, the voice of the Cardinals, as we are set to bring you live coverage, as we said before, boys varsity soccer, the last game to round off the week, and it is a home game versus the Agawam Brownies. Pope working from right to left, Brownies working from left to right. Last time we were here live on the stream was 2 days ago. It was Wednesday evening, and it was it was versus the Long Meadow. Unfortunately, a brutal 2-0 loss to the Lancers on Wednesday night. But Pope Francis looking to turn things around here, as their current record 2-1-4 on the season. Certainly not the best, but certainly better to have the tie than the loss. Certainly. Brownies, on the other hand, only with one win on the season, 1-3-3. The one win most notably coming on Tuesday over Pittsfield High, and that would be a 3-1 win. Up until that point, though, it was an 0-3-3 streak for the Brownies. So not the start that they wanted off to the season. As we look at the MIAA power rankings, Pope Francis, the boys team, currently holding down the number 8 spot in the rankings. Chicopee with the number 2 spot, and Belchertown right behind Pope Francis with the number 9 spot in the Division 3 rankings of MIAA. Girls soccer with the number 4 rank currently for Girls Division 3 soccer. So those are the big 2 teams, both with top 10 rankings so far, as Pope Francis looks to hopefully get back in the win column here. Again, last 2 matches between Pope and Agawam. Pope would win both. Last win for Agawam coming just about 2 years ago, and that would be a 3-2 win versus over the Cardinals for the Brownies. And as we said so far, 2 minutes in the game, majority a Pope Francis based offensive zone going right now here for the Cardinals. We saw in that Lancers game on Wednesday, it was a very, very died down toward the second half. Very, very died down with offensive pressure. And a key figure, I'm going to keep going back to this, is Max Graham. Sophomore in goal, a big component here, especially 2 more years for Max Graham here at Pope Francis, being a sophomore. And he has really taken up big shoes to fill here for this Cardinal team. With a home save percentage, 62 out of 66 shots saved. Only 4 goals allowed. The most was in that 2-0 loss versus Long Meadow. So certainly a key component on the defensive side was goaltender Max Graham. But Pope Francis, a thing that they did that died down, especially in the second half, was really the lack of urgency in the offensive zone. And we saw it in the last 20 minutes. It was really shots and chances. But where Long Meadow would win that game was the opening 15 minutes of the game, as Boston Lozier, on the close side here, trying to fire off a shot, as it is blocked in the far corner, and Matt Walsh will box out and get the throw-in for the Pope Francis for the Cardinals. So Walsh throw-in, looking for Vindez, trying to get to the middle for Aiden Zenda. Vinny Sleeper looking to clean up the rebound. Instead, he'll play it back for Evan Bialis. Bialis up for Grandmont. Grandmont looking for a little bit of room. So only to be picked off by a Brownie forward. Lozier inside for Carlos Vindez. Back over the top of the 50-yard line for Bialis. Inside for Vindez. Over for Walsh. Walsh touch passes it. Trying to get over for Aiden Zenda. Fitzgerald steal away. Vindez trying to fire the shot off. Nothing would go for him, though, as it was blocked in front by the Brownies. But a couple of quick opportunities for Pope Francis here. Trying to get things going. Lozier. We're going to work things inside. Trying to leave a touch pass off from Matt Walsh. Brownies defenseman Connor Glynn will send that one out of bounds, though, or rather keep it in. Matt Walsh pushing Glynn to the ground. So the Brownies will get possession here. Ball's looking to be sent right back into the O-zone here, but it could be a little steal for the Brownies. Max Graham all the way out to play it as he gets his first save of the night. As this ball is headed back the other way, immediately back into the Brownies' offensive zone, as Fitzgerald will send it out of play. Pope with the throw-in. Fitzgerald trying to get over for Carlos Vindez. Aiden Zenda looking to get something going in the middle. Long-distance shot here. I believe that was by Dante Sherbin, but that'll be sent high and wide out of bounds. As kick now from the goal for the Brownies, coming from Aiden Lavelle. Pope looking to work things back into the offensive zone, though. Fitzgerald trying to work it forward. Finds Vindez instead with the block shot. Back over to Lozier. Boston Lozier. I get things going for Pope Francis. 7 minutes in. Walsh with the steal, though. Right in the offensive zone. Play broken up, though, by the Brownies again. As Vinny Sleeper trying to keep that along the close side. But it will be sent out of bounds. Yeah, it's good defensive play up the middle. Vindez along the far side looking for Braden Fitzgerald. As that was sent out of bounds. So Dante Sherbin will get the throw in. Trying to look inside for Carlos Vindez. Over for Fitzgerald. Agawam just looking to clear it now as they almost do there, but no, it's sent back in by Gavin Grandmont. Vinny Sleeper, first man on the ball, trying to keep it in the zone. Brownies trying to work it back up the field. Keating to Glynn. Before the play is broken up, Gavin Grandmont on the defensive side. Usually we see him in the midfield, but now taking a couple of defensive reps. As this ball will be sent out of play on the far side. So Dante Sherbin will get the throw in. Back for Pope as he throws it off the back to Grandmont. Grandmont looking up middle. Trying to find Aiden Zenda as he does there in the middle. Over for Lozier. So as we said, athletics so far. Last game of the week here to close it out. A home game versus the Brownies. Next week, only one game. Thursday, it'll be girls soccer versus East Long Meadow. And the big day that we have to mark off on the calendars is not next week, but 2 weeks from now. October 10th is senior night for girls volleyball. So we will bring you live coverage for girls volleyball. Be sure to mark the date for all the volleyball fans out there. That'll be girls volleyball versus Southwick, as that is set for 5:30. Shot to the inside by Walsh, as it was deflected off of Walsh's header. And Papadakis, a goaltender for Agawam, gets his first save of the night. As we were saying, girls soccer next week on Thursday, on Thursday at 4 versus East Long Meadow. There was a 3-3 tie, the one game, so we are in for a good game there. Other than that, it is boys soccer Wednesday night versus Belchertown, and boys soccer Monday night versus Ludlow. Unsure if I will be in attendance for the Monday game. The Wednesday game, though, should be a live coverage and announcements. Unsure of the Monday game for now, ladies and gentlemen. It could be just background noise. So I do apologize for that. And then from there, it will look like girls soccer versus Long Meadow Saturday the 18th at 3, and boys soccer senior night at 6 versus Central. As an indirect kick here from Graham on sales, a little bit high over the net. So the last two home games of the season, girls soccer versus Long Meadow and boys soccer versus Central. And boys soccer is October 17th at 6 p.m. and girls soccer versus Long Meadow at 3 p.m. on Saturday, October 18th. Fitzgerald looking to make way into the offensive zone. Hands it off for Sleeper. Sleeper back for Lozier. Boston Lozier trying to fire a shot off, but it was blocked by Connor Glynn. Again, 2 blocked shots already on the defensive side for Glynn. Corner kick here. Walsh looking inside for Braden Fitzgerald, as that shot was sent out of play. But a good look there towards the middle. Nearly 12 minutes in. Already some good offensive looks here for Pope Francis. Agawam and the Brownies and Cardinals only with 1 shot on goal each. This shot far side, looking for a redirect out in front. Almost had it as it was wide open in the middle. Boston Lozier, a good box out to regain possession. Handing it off to Matt Walsh. Walsh looking back up for Vinny Sleeper, though. Fialo trying to keep it back into the offensive zone. Brownies trying to regroup and get some ozone time here. But as we said, Pope Francis majority ozone time here. Max Graham will go all the way out to play it here, as the initial shot was fanned on by Brownies forward Dan Abramchuk. So as we said here, goaltender Max Graham only with 4 goals against at home field. So certainly a strong key in his book. I mean, even on the road, still only with 2 goals against. That's a really good stats here. 6 goals against in what is right now 8 games. So certainly not, or rather 7 goals against in 8 games played. So certainly not something to complain about. So goaltender Max Graham will take this out of his own mound. Punt well past the 50-yard line. Brownie's looking for an offensive header. Instead, he goes back the other way as they're trying to clear it out of the zone. Shervin with a good header midfield. Carlos Vindez looking far side, trying to find Boston Lozier. Lozier unable to click the pass. Martowski there for him. Martowski, long distance pass up for Matt Walsh. All the way out to play it is Papadakis as he'll get his third save. So 3-2 shots on goal in favor of the Cardinals so far. The offensive zone has well been in favor of Pope Francis. Agawam with 2 long-distance shots that have gotten onto goaltender Max Graham, but really with 0 offensive zone time here. Pope's been good on the defensive regroup and really, really exceptional in the offensive zone. Unfortunately, they have nothing to show for it so far, as we sit at a knotted 0-0 game. 15 minutes into play. Fiala looking to keep the ball back in play as this will head out of bounds. As Brownies now go on the offensive side, trying to get a long-distance shot in here. Rather, it's played along the far side. They look for some offensive time here. Bialis clears it out of the zone. Right up in the middle. For Matt Walsh. Walsh looking to take it himself on the far side. Good play there to stay on his feet. Ball sent out of bounds, though. Matt Walsh with a good individual effort here along the far side. Trying to get something going. Sherman will take the throw in. Brownies looking to get it back upfield, though. It is headed out of play by Dawood Antanani. Let's kick out of the field here coming from Ben Grechka. Trying to get the pass upfield for Omar Elgandy. Agawam with some good defensive possession right now, unable to do anything with it as Max Graham gets his third shot from a long distance and an easy save made by him again. As we near the halfway point in the first half. As plays blown dead here, and this will be Pope possession. So it could be a good opportunity to get people to the net and get a redirection in front. As Gavin Grandmont will take this shot from the 40-yard line. Steady pass off for Dante Sherman. Sherman will cycle it back to the D for Evan Bialis. As Bialis looks upfield and passes it off for Gavin Grandmont. Grandmont looks inside for Matt Walsh. Walsh looking to give the pass off for Carlos Vindez, taken down on the play. Walsh trying to regroup with it, but the Brownies looking to clear the zone as it is sent back along the close side. For it is sent out of bounds in the Pope O zone. Lozier, throw in for Carlos Vindez. Brownies trying to regroup and gain possession. Bialas trying to clear it out of the zone. Trying to get it up for Matt Walsh. Walsh, sidestep there along to the side, trying to get something going as Connor Glynn taken down on the play by Matt Walsh. So this will be Agawam possession now. Anyway, 19 minutes into the opening half. Still scoreless here. Agawam starting to get a little bit more ozone time here, But right now, Pope Francis is holding that very, very high above Agawam's head as they have controlled possession for probably about 2/3 of the game so far in the offense and in the defensive zone. Fitzgerald along the far side looking for Matt Walsh. Walsh trying to find an inside lane and find Martowski. But instead he is deflected out of bounds. A long distance shot here. Save made by Papadakis. Agawam looking at things going back the other way for a lead pass there, trying to get to Dylan Jorgensen. Max Martowski trying to take it himself on the close side. Walsh blocked the initial shot there. Leaves it off for Carlos Vindez. Vindez looking far side, trying to find Fitzgerald, but it's sent out of bounds. I think it was an intent for a pass, but more like a shot along the far side. So Brownies get the throw in. As this play will be sent out of bounds again along the close side this time. Headed back into the zone by Vinny Sleeper. Walsh pressuring on the ball as he steals and gains possession. Good check right there for him. Vindez with a shot and a save made by Papadakis again. Pope trying to regain control here in the offensive zone. 5-4 shots on goal in favor of the Cardinals so far. Definitely not the outcome they thought they would have had. Probably a 1 or 2 goal lead by now. But things not going the way of Pope Francis so far. As rather the offensive zone is going for Pope Francis. But things just not showing up on the scoreboard. 0-0 still with the opportunities. But unfortunately nothing to show for it so far. Agawam with 4 long-distance shots in on goaltender Max Graham, which he has been square to so far. As Pope with regaining possession. Walsh looking to dart up the middle. Takes a step back and leaves it for Christian Fialo. Fialo trying to give the pass over for Jadis. Andrew Jadis looking inside. Fitzgerald gives a pass for Walsh over for Vinny Sleeper. Sleeper close side down for Boston Lozier. Down low, Martowski trying to fire a low side shot. Rather it'll be a pass. And the Brownies will maybe deflect. No, it's kept alongside. In. Far side kept in by the Brownies. Max Graham all the way past center field for Matt Walsh. As play is blown dead here, and I believe we have offsides is the call. So nearly 23 minutes into this game so far. Majority controlled by Pope Francis in the O-zone. Good defensive regroups too. But unfortunately, nothing to show for so far. As Walsh with an ankle breaker moved to the middle. Shots on goal still 5-4 in favor of the Cardinals. As the Brownies send this one out of play in their own O-zone along the far side of the field. So just to recap what Pope's season has looked like so far. Started off strong with a win 2-1 versus Pittsfield. A 0-0 tie versus West Springfield. We would bring you live coverage of that game. 3-1 win versus the East Longmeadow Spartans. And from there, it would start really a tying streak, if I might say. A 1-1 tie versus Ludlow, a 0-0 tie versus Minnechaug, and a 1-1 tie versus Belchertown. Belchertown, of course, was a big unit. As a header there, Max Graham with a big-time stop. Off of the header out in front by Nick Gahabri. A big-time stop for Max Graham, as those deflections really not easy to stop, let alone one in the air, as he got the glove on that save. So a big-time stop for him, as he keeps his game at 0-0. And what has been the Brownies' only source of life right here. Another shot coming again from the corner, deflected out in front. Graham all the way trying to go out and play it, headed back out. It was along the goal line. A good effort here. I believe that was by Dante Sherman to keep it out of the net. Shot back in on net, a long-distance shot, and they score. As Patrick Keating has the opening goal for the Brownies. As Pope Francis will take their timeout. So we'll step aside, ladies and gentlemen. With 15-18 left in the opening half, Brownies up 1-0, courtesy of Patrick Keating. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, the remainder of the first half. As we really thought Pope would have had the opening goal, especially by now, as goaltender Max Graham has been just so stellar in net so far. But a long-distance shot found the way to beat him, and we are now sitting at a 1-0 Brownies lead. Not a position Pope Francis thought they would find themselves in this opening half. As all the way out to play it now is Joey Papadakis of the Brownies. As shots now dead even, 6-6. Only difference is Agawam has put one goal past Max Graham so far. So Agawam looking for their second win of the season. Pope looking for their third. So far wins over Pittsfield and East Longmeadow, a 2-1 and a 3-1 win. And Agawam most recently with a 3-1 win over Pittsfield. So we have a good matchup here for both of these teams. So as we said, Pope Francis holding the number 8 spot in MIAA Division 3. Agawam a little bit far behind in the Division 2 rankings, holding the 24 seed. As currently Northampton and Longmeadow, the two big names, and West Springfield, all with top 5 positions. Northampton with the number 1 in D2, Longmeadow with the number 2 in the Division 2 rankings, and West Springfield the number 4 rank in the Division 2 rankings. So a couple of big names there. Pope most notably with a 2-0 loss to the Longmeadow Lancers, most recently this past Wednesday, as they look to turn their season around here. As Walsh will take this shot from a distance, looking inside for Dante Sherbin, trying to get the deflection off. He had it, almost beat Papadakis, barely extending the glove, and he keeps it a 1-0 game for the Brownies, as Dante Sherbin with a good individual effort here along the far side, trying to get the play back going and get this game tied up at 1-1 apiece. Andrew Jodis now along the far side. Looks over for Fitzgerald. Fialo up top for Bialis. Back for Sherbin. Bialis. Middle for Fialo. A little sidestep there. Taken down in the play, though. Pope Francis will regain possession. As Carlos Vindez now with a little burst of speed here. Good shot there. Save made by Papadakis. As Joey Papadakis starting to come to life for the Brownies. As Pope Francis starting to get the memo and start taking shots from a distance and get the rebound up close. Or deflections in close, as Dante Sherbin almost had the opening goal for Pope Francis. But still down 1-0 here in the opening half. As Matt Walsh will take this kick from the corner. Walsh looking inside. Header there. They score. It's Dante Sherbin. So Dante Sherbin ties things up for Pope Francis. About 4 minutes after Agawam had taken the lead, Dante ties things up at 1-1. So his first goal of the season puts Pope Francis back within reach of this game. As shots on goal now 9-7 in favor of the Cardinals. Pope Francis had some good ozone pressure, and you knew eventually it was going to pay off for the Cardinals as they tie things up 1-1. Keating with both of the goals so far. Only 4 minutes separating them as we are at a 1-1 game. Those of you just tuning in, Agawam looking for their first win over Pope Francis in nearly 2 years. Pope Francis looking to keep the 3-game winning streak versus Agawam alive, as this will be a 1-1, no home-and-home matchup. So this is the one time that these two teams will meet this season so far. As we look ahead of the schedule, Pope Francis hits the road in 2 away games versus West Springfield on September the 29th and versus East Longmeadow on Thursday the 2nd. Next time we will not see you back here. Actually, no, we will. I just will not be here, more than likely. It'll be a recording with no live play-by-play. It'll be versus Ludlow on October 6th, and then the next game 2 days later on Wednesday, October 8th, versus Belchertown. 4 p.m. is the kickoff for that. And then around things all off here at home, it'll be senior night versus Springfield Central. Be sure to tune in for that. Big rivalry between two big schools here in Springfield. Most notably, Central an opponent when it comes to Pope Francis basketball. But still, Pope Francis looking to hold their name and hold their record against Springfield Central here, as the bragging rights of best team in Springfield up for grabs in a game, not just for soccer necessarily, but also, especially come winter season, for basketball. As the last time Pope Francis took on Central at home would be nearly 2 years ago, as they would win that game 3-2. So now the 9-minute mark remaining in the opening half so far. Dante Sherbin and Patrick Keating with the opening goal, with the goals for the Cardinals and for the Brownies. Long distance shot here from Matt Walsh, looking to get redirected in the middle, as Vinny Sleeper looked for the redirect there, wide open in front of the net. Gavin Grandmont looking to keep things back in play. Lozier back for Grandmont. Grandmont middle for Shep Delane. Delane looking for his first goal. Cut down, though, by the Brownie defense. Bialis, stretch pass, tap pass over for Gavin Grandmont, who's taken down on the play. Grandmont with the pass over for Carlos Vindez. Vindez, 4 goals under his belt so far this season, averaging a goal every other game. Talked with him a little bit before in school. Go-to pregame meal, from what I saw so far, was ground beef and a sweet potato. So certainly interesting meal choice by him pregame for this afternoon meeting of the Brownies. So good post-game, or pregame meal for him. As Matt Walsh along the far side of the corner will get the throw-in for the Cardinals. All the way to the middle, trying to get a shot, or rather a deflection there. Dante Sherbin again looking for his second goal. Almost got it there before it was deflected out of bounds by Brownies defenseman Ben Grechka. Sleeper, good play there to block the shot and try to keep it into the offensive zone. Unfortunately, this will be Brownie possession, though. The Brownies look to come back the other way. Patrick Keating with the only goal so far. Long distance shot easily saved by Max Graham. Graham with the punt all the way out past the 40-yard mark. As Jackson Colano trying to go for the header. Picked up by Matt Walsh, though. Walsh over for Lozier. Boston Lozier inside. Carlos Vindez has Matt Walsh along the far side. Might choose to take it himself. Yes, he does. Looks inside for a low pass. Fitzgerald taking down the play as he was trying to get the pass over to him. Sleeper with a good slide tackle there to try to keep things back in the offensive zone. Bialis, header forward. Carlos Vindez trying to keep things going. Vinny Sleeper with a good rush here, trying to get up for Braden Fitzgerald. Could he fire the short side shot off to the middle? Yes, he could, but it's a save made by Papadakis. So 10-7 shots on goal for the Cardinals, as they have certainly shown more will here, especially after the opening goal scored by the Brownies, as they've certainly showed that they wanted the game time goal back, and now they want the lead here. They're in the 5-minute mark in the opening half. As Connor Glynn will get the throw in for the Brownies and go forward up for Keating, shot blocked there by Jadis. Evan Bialis will come back the other way with it. Stretch pass looking up for Braden Fitzgerald, though this will be a save made once again by Papadakis. Vindez trying to get it going forward, though it is sent out of, rather, offsides. And Bialis trying to get it back upfield as he did. Shot going to the inside lane. Pass off to the side. Working to the middle. Now Glynn. Low for Keating. Keating along the close side. Looking for Jaden Holloway. Instead, Pope will regain possession as Boston Lozier will get the throw in for the Cardinals. Sleeper had it right out of the zone. So Brownies regain possession now. Connor Glynn looking middle as this will be scooped up by Max Graham. All the way center field. Brownies looking to turn things back around. Get some. They have had some more offensive zone time gradually, but not a lot. As Vinny Sleeper giving the pass off for Boston Lozier. Trying to look inside for Fitzgerald before this is cleared well out of the zone. And Max Graham will come all the way out to get the save. Again, a lot of long-distance shots here for the Agawam Brownies so far. I believe 5, if not 6 of their shots so far have been from a distance. Of course, the one shot that actually went in was also distant from a distance as well. I believe around the 30-yard line. So Agawam really looking for long-distance shots and trying to get rebounds to the net. Vinny Sleeper along the close side. Trying to keep it back in bounds. Good effort there. Unfortunately, we sent out. So we need a 240 mark in regulation. Pope Francis and the Brownies tied at 1-1. As Agawam had the opening goal, Pope Francis for Dante Sherman, first goal of the season as he ties things up 1-1. And Patrick Keating with the opening goal for the Brownies. Walsh gives the pass off for Vindez. Vindez, middle field, looking for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald for Sleeper, back for Lozier. 2 minutes now remaining in the opening half. Vindez, long distance pass, off for Dante Sherman. Walsh, pressured from behind. Gives the pass off for Carlos Vindez. Vindez, middle, trying to find Fitzgerald. Brownies looking to work back the other way. As this ball is playable along the close side, Thomas Poulin looking inside. Goaltender Max Graham all the way out to get it. As he gets his 10th, or rather 9th save of the night. Colano working upfield, looking for Jadis. As we now near the final minute of regulation. As along the far side, Jadis and Colano both taken down on the play. Shot coming in from a long distance here. Grandmont looking middle. Trying to get over for Carlos Vindez. Vindez shot cleared, though. Gavin Grandmont with a good, aggressive defensive play there to keep things back in. Final 25 seconds now remaining in regulation along the far side now. Lozier looking to clear it out for Walsh. 13 seconds now in regulation. Time will more than likely wind down here. As now with 5 seconds, Brownies looking to just get a shot off. Cardinals looking to clear it out of harm's way, and time will expire here. So 1-1 game so far. Dante Sherbin and Patrick Keating with both the goals. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back to a 1-1 game here live at the second half. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Champions Play here live on Pope Prep. As we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of play here, live at Pope Francis. So as we said before, a 1-1 tie between the Brownies and the Cardinals. One time a year that these two teams will be meeting. So a lot up for grabs here. Agawam looking for their first win in 2 years versus Pope Francis. Pope Francis looking to snap a 1-game losing streak against the Lancers. Carlos Vindez. A good block there, trying to keep things back into the offensive zone here as Dante Sherbin and Patrick Keating with the opening goals for the Brownies and the Cardinals. In the Pope Francis D zone. As it was a Brownies forward, I believe it was forward Thomas Poulin upended right in the middle of the zone. So we'll get an indirect kick here from Patrick Keating, who again already has Agawam's opening goal. So he looks to get Agawam back in the lead. Pulling all the way out to make the save is Max Graham, as that is his 10th save of the night. Carlos Vindez, far side over for Matt Walsh. Walsh going to make something happen there. Things off to the middle. Back for Carlos Vindez. Vindez off for Braden Antimbo. Antimbo trying to get the step in. The play is cleared up the the close side of the field. As Agawam with a little bit of a burst of speed here toward the middle. Max Graham all the way out to play it. Will punt this. Looking for Dante Sherbin at the 40-yard line of the offensive zone. Lozier looking inside. Trying to find Grandmont. Gavin Grandmont. Back over for Vinny Sleeper. Sleeper back for Bialis. Carlos Vindez. Gonna make a play in the middle of the field. Leaves off for Vinny Sleeper. Leaves it for Evan Bialis. Bialis looks far deep down the field. Brownies head out of the zone. Carlos Vindez. The header back in. Matt Walsh looking up for Carlos Vindez. Vindez takes a little turnaround. Vindez inside trying to find Sherbin for his second goal of the game. As the Brownies try to work it back the other way, get some ozone time for the first time in this second half here. Ball trying to get kept back in play. Pope Francis trying to clear things out here. Agawam, though, good regroup on the defensive side. Fitzgerald, good header, though. Kept back in. Max Graham all the way out to play it. He got the initial save, or at least the dive to block the attempt. Is now coming out with it is Boston Lozier. Lozier in the middle for Gavin Grandmont. Steps it back for Braden Antimbo. Antimbo over along the side for Carlos Vindez. Vindez, far side of the field, Boston Lozier. Lozier trying to get the stretch pass up for Matt Walsh. This is cleared out of play. by Brownies defenseman Dan Abramchuk. The save made there by Joey Papadakis. Agawam looking to work it back upfield. Pope trying to get it back out of the D zone and get some more O-zone time going for them here. Placing it right back into the Pope Francis D zone. Fitzgerald looking to clear it upfield for Matt Walsh. Vindez, far side of the field, over for Matt Walsh. Walsh trying to look inside, has Dante Sherbin, Vinny Sleeper. Carlos Vindez trying to make a move to the middle, fire off a shot. There, defensive clear, blocked by Agawam's own player. It was Abramchuk trying to clear it, but Kara with the block. But looking far side, Gavin Grammont trying to get the deflection. And then on the second redirect was Carlos Vindez looking inside. Grammont had the initial deflection. And Vindez was looking for the second redirect, but I believe that Papadakis might have just got a piece of it to where it was sent out of bounds. So opening 10 minutes of this second half here has been a majority controlled by the Cardinals so far. Place him back here into the Pope D zone. It's still at a 1-1 game here. Cardinals and Brownies. Last time they met was about a year ago. Pope Francis would get the win, a 3-0 win. Last year, as we said, Agawam's last win versus the Cardinals coming in a 3-2 win about 2 years ago. As the opening 10 minutes gone by here so far, majority Pope Francis in the offensive zone so far, which is good to see if you're a Cardinals fan, except for that one scare out near the midfield zone. But luckily, goaltender Max Graham was square to the ball. Allison Baldwin now trying to box out with defense here. Let the ball roll out of play. As Agawam will regain possession here. Carlos Vindez now. Takes a step back with the ball. Dangerous play there right in front of his own net. Evan Bial is trying to get a touch pass up for Boston Lozier. Lozier trying to look middle for Max Martowski. Martowski leaves a pass back for Lozier. Trying to clear up the zone, though, as it was broken up by the Brownies. kick from a long distance here. Max Graham all the way out to play it, made the initial save. And he also makes the secondary save here. So shots on goal, tied, 13-13 apiece. One goal past each of the netminders so far. As 13 minutes into the second half, still no tie-breaking goal here. But what we have seen so far certainly has been some good ozone pressure by the Cardinals. Nothing to complain if you are a Cardinal fan. Here, Brownies have to get a little bit of a wake-up call here if they want any chance of coming back and having a chance of maybe coming out with a win here. But right now, what it's looking like is Pope Francis could, if they keep this pressure up very easily, have a couple of goals in the back of the Brownies' net. As that shot there off the outside of the net. Boston Lozier looking to keep things back in play. Evan Bialis regroups with the ball. Inside pass for Carlos Vindez. Vindez over for Dylan Chapdelaine. Chapdelaine. All stolen there, though, by the Brownies. Vinny Sleeper looking to pick off the pass. Sleeper trying to look middle. Get play going back the other way. Ford is sent back. Now Agawam looking to go get something going back upfield. Long distance indirect here. Coming from Keatling, deflected out of bounds. As Andrew Jodis will head into the game for Ellison Baldwin. Dante Sherwin trying to keep things back into the ozone for the Cardinals. Boston Lozier with a good body presence there at the 50-yard line. Trying to keep things back in play there. It's a long-distance low shot here. I think it was intended to get high, but it didn't. Carlos Vindez. Good defensive play, though, there made by Dante Sherman. Vindez up for Chapdelaine. Chapdelaine looking inside, has Martowski. Chapdelaine looking to take it himself. Inside for Martowski. Good defensive poke out there to the middle. As Agawam could have found themselves down 2-1 there. But some good defensive plays in their own zone for the Brownies to keep things at a 1-1 game here. As 23:45 now remaining in regulation. Cardinals trying to get things going back the other way. Brownies looking for the go-ahead goal here, though. Lozier looking to keep things in. Takes a man down on the play. No call there. Fans in shock that there is nothing there. I think on both ways, though, for the Brownies and the Cardinals, as they've been shocked all game here, not liking the calls. Must be some of the road crowd here. Agawam fans not liking any of the calls. As this ball will be sent immediately back out of play here along the far side. So a thing here, Agawam in their last 5 games with a 1-2-2 record. Most notably on this 1-2-2 record, or rather, I should say 1-1-3 record, is the 2-0 loss to Northampton. As we saw, Pope Francis versus Longmeadow, 2-0 loss. The small things to cut down on that game are what definitely easily could have won you the game, without a doubt. But also, Agawam with the game against Northampton, going to show that some of these maybe lower-ranked teams, especially against some of the high-ranked D2 or D3 teams, you're in for a good matchup either way. As Martowski taking down the play here. Fans, again, not liking the call from the officiating staff here. As for those of you just tuning in, currently at a 1-1 game, goals, Patrick Keating would open the scoring for the Brownies, but Dante Sherbin would have the equalizer about 4 minutes after for his first goal of the season. So Matt Walsh will take this indirect kick for Pope Francis. Walsh looking inside, trying to get a deflection. Chapdelaine trying to fire a shot. Jadis picks up the rebound. Carlos Vindes scores, though. No, it's waved off. Pope Francis is in shock right now as Max Martowski and Carlos Vindes were right there on the doorstep to get home the goal. And Vindes and one of the officiating crew having a couple of words here as they can't believe that this was called off. What very well could have been the game-winning goal was called off. And we are still here at a 1-1 game. So Carlos Vindes back with the ball now. Over for Andrew Jadis. Has to ignite a spark here, especially if you're Vindes, especially with that goal getting called off, and especially the Pope Francis fours here. You've had to sustain pressure here for a while. And for it to just get taken away all of a sudden, not something that you want, especially here in the final 20 minutes of regulation. As this ball will be sent wide of the net. And Max Graham will take the goal kick. As Jackson Colano heading into the game for Dante Sherbin. Max Graham. Kick all the way up to half field. Ball sent back out of play, though. As we said, remaining 20 minutes of regulation here. 1-1 the score. Vindes with what could have been the go-ahead goal called off in the offensive zone here. So Pope Francis still looking for that spark to get up, back up 2-1. Shots on goal 13-13. Max Graham and Joey Papadakis, both with 12 saves each. One has gone by them so far. Vindes looking to fire a low-distance shot in. Blocked out in front. Fitzgerald gets the play back up for Carlos Vindes, who's taking down the play as he won't get the call there. And the official reaching into his pocket, I believe he could be... Yes, he's giving Carlos Vindes a warning, yellow card. for him as he will step off the field. And Gavin Grandmont will head on for Carlos Vindez. Long distance shot here for the Brownies. Looking to get redirected out in front. Max Graham. We'll let that one go to the side. And the officials ruling that this will be a Brownie corner kick, I believe. Even though the ball was not touched by Pope Francis heading out of the zone. I'm at a loss of words right now, honestly, for the hand of the officiating staff. I mean, 2 blown calls here in favor of the Brownies right now, with a call off on the goal and now a shot sent way out of bounds, clearly by the Brownies, but they won't get the call. Corner kick here, deflection out in front. Now, this should be Pope Francis' possession, one would think, but I'm unsure so far. No, it is Pope Francis' possession. Glad that me and the officiating staff are on the same page here, as they have hopefully the same thing I see up for here in the box. Max Graham takes the goal kick out from the center field. Lozier avoids a slide tackle there. Colano steps back. Gives the pass up for Evan Bialis. Bialis up for Lozier. Lozier, middle field for Matt Walsh. Walsh taken down on the play. Still trying to stay with the ball. Colano to pass back over for Matt Walsh. Trying to move to the middle. No call there for Pope Francis or Agawam. Fitzgerald trying to get a big defensive play up in front. Brownie's looking to come back the other way. Centering feed to the middle. Bialis picks that one off. Martowski. Martowski up for Chapdelaine. Back for Matt Walsh. Walsh will cycle it back for Fitzgerald. 16 minutes now remaining in regulation. Martowski trying to get the pass inside. Colano. Back for Andrew Jadis. Jadis upfield. Martowski looking for Matt Walsh. Don't believe the pass will get there as it will roll out of bounds. And Agawam will regain possession here. As the ball sent back in play. Sleeper looking to keep it back in bounds. Oh, sent out of bounds. As a throw in here for the Brownies, Jadis sends it immediately back out of play. Agawam looking to get things going back upfield. Brownies trying to get something going back up. Andrew Jadis trying to get the pass upfield. Header for Matt Walsh. We sent out of bounds, looking for Max Martowski. Ball sent back into play now for the Brownies. Bialis looking to step up for a defensive play there. Instead, it finds Boston Lozier. Lozier along the far side trying to find Grandmont. Brownies looking to come back the other way. Under 14 now remaining in regulation. This ball is sent out of play now. Agawam will regain possession. Here, 13:45 now remaining in regulation. Ball sent to the middle. Good block there by Jackson Colano. Agawam with a big step up, though. Jadis will send this one out of harm's way. Maratowski with a good kick out to the middle. Walsh. The play trying to help get it upfield, though. As we have a midfield collision, though. Ball, long distance shot here. Easily saved, made by Max Graham. It's a hard shot from a long distance. Agawam pretty good with their long distance shots here. I'm going to crash the net, but Max Graham with the good rebound control, making sure there's no chance for a second opportunity. Andrew Jadis will get the throw in. Trying to look middle for Matt Walsh. Walsh inside for Grandmont. Grandmont pass off over for Sherbin, who's taken down the play. Sherbin looking off to the official now, trying to look for a call or an explanation why he was taken down. But it looks like he won't get that now, as 11:40 remaining in regulation now. Chapdelaine trying to upend the play right in the middle there. As Grandmont taken down. This will be Pope possession. So Matt Walsh will take this shot from a long distance. Pope looking to crash and get bodies to net for a redirection. Martowski, good deflection out in front. Agawam trying to scramble for the ball as Dante Sherbin was first man of the net. Looking for the second opportunity, but none there from Joey Papadakis. Good defensive header there by Evan Bialis, trying to get things going to the middle. Sherbin up for Carlos Vindez. Vindez looking to get something going for the Cardinals now. Place down to the middle. Vinny Sleeper. Pass off for Boston Lozier. Lozier upfield for Dylan Chapdelaine. Chapdelaine trying to make a move to the middle. Oh, nothing would go for him. As 10-10 now remaining in regulation. Walsh. Corner kick there. Easy save made by Papadakis. Yeah. So header out to the middle for the Brownies. Under 10 now to play in the second half of regulation. As Dante Sherbin taken down on the play. Nearing the 9-minute mark now of regulation. Shots on goal. 15-14 in favor of the Cardinals. As we said before. Long distance shot here. That got past Max Graham. And a redirect up front on the rebound for Dante Sherbin, as he's been hunting for his second goal of the game. Carlos Vindez, what could have been the go-ahead goal, called off. And ever since then, he has been given a yellow card. So he'll have to be on watch, certainly not just by his teammates, but also by the officials. 8:30 now remaining in the second half. Grandmont throw in. Chapdelaine, header to the middle, trying to find Dante Sherbin again. The all before is cleared out by the Agawam defense. Grandmont's long distance shot will go the length of the field and head out of bounds. Punt all the way up past the halfway mark of the field. Sherbin, good step up on the defensive side to break up that play. Jadis taken down. Carlos Vindez will get the kick for Pope Francis. He heads upfield for Andrew Jadis. Jadis trying to look far side for Grandmont. Grandmont blocks the defender there. Walsh looking to fire a shot off. Blocked off a couple of bodies. Is it pinballed around at the 20-yard mark? Good header there to get Agawam going back the other way. Trying to make a move to the middle now for the Brownies. As play is broken up by Evan Bialis. Under 7 now remaining in regulation. Walsh trying to get the pass upfield for Andrew Jadis. The ball will not be sent out of play. Kept back in here. Agawam looking to get things going back the other way. Thomas Poulin. Low distance shot there. Save made by Max Graham. As both goaltenders now tallying 14 saves and 15 shots as down the play now for the Brownies, one of their forwards. So we'll step aside here with 6:28 remaining in regulation. 1-1 the game. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Champions play here live on Pope Prep. Max Graham with a kick all the way out to the 40-yard line. Oh, trying to get things going back their way. Get the go-ahead goal. Vindez called off for what could have been the game-winning goal. Here now, as with 6:10 remaining, still at a 1-1 game. Agawam trying to get back into the offensive zone. Vindez with a little bit of room here. Trying to get it back upfield. Look for Andrew Jadis. Though it'll be sent out of play. Dante Sherbin will get the throw in. Headed back out of the zone by the Brownies. 5:45 now remaining in regulation. Sherbin over for Aiden Zenda. Carlos Vindez plays it back for defense for Evan Bialis. Sherbin, middle for Aiden Zenda. Zenda looking to get things going for Pope. Zenda, good aggressive nature there, though. Five minutes now remaining in regulation. Still at a 1-1 game. Sherbin taken down on the play. Agawam looking for a call. As it was Thomas Poulin, the senior forward, looking for a call, but he won't get it there. On Dante Sherbin. Long distance shot here. Fitzgerald. Middle. Boston Lozier keeps it in play. Agawam looking to head it back out of the zone. Matt Walsh. Good effort there to get it back for Boston Lozier. 4:19 now remaining in regulation. Lozier taken down on the play. Agawam looking to regroup and send it back up the close side. As Fitzgerald trying to cut off the pass. Shot here along the side. Easily saved, made by goaltender Max Graham. 15th save of the night. Kicked all the way out to half field. Chapdelaine. Lead pass for Andrew Jottis, who's getting interfered with. And I believe this will be a call on Jottis. Out in the middle, as he thinks it should have been the other way around. As there's clearly a little bit of abruption there, right in the front of the 10-yard line. So 3:25 now left in regulation. Anyone's game at a 1-1 tie. Will Agawam get their first win in over 2 years against the Cardinals, or does Pope keep the 3-game win streak against Agawam alive? Both teams, though, Pope looking to end their losing streak, a 1-game losing streak. Agawam looking to continue their 1-game winning streak. Ball's there, sent out of play. Under 3 now remaining in regulation. Coming down to the wire here, Pope Francis has controlled possession for the majority of this game so far. Especially the majority of this half so far. Ball sent in the middle, though, deflected out of play. Brownies looking to come back the other way, make something happen here along the far side. Tommy Poulin looking middle. Broken up by Dante Sherbin. 2:25 now remaining in regulation. Walsh trying to get things going back upfield. Leaves a pass off for Jottis, who's taking down the play. Pope Francis will get this call. And it'll be Fitzgerald to take the kick now, nearing the 2 minute. 2 minutes now remaining in regulation. Fitzgerald with what could be a good opportunity to put Pope Francis up 2-1 and get a redirection in front. Brownies clear it out of the zone, though. Vinny Sleeper plays it back to his defenseman, Evan Bialis, who looks up middle. Can't find a lane. Agawam looking to come back along the far side. Tommy Poulin looking to extend and get Agawam the go-ahead goal. Fitzgerald sends it along the far side, though. Lozier taken down on the field. This ball sent out of play. 1:30 now remaining in regulation. A 1-1 tie. Max Graham all the way out to play it. High risk, high reward play there as he regains possession for Pope, sending it back upfield. Walsh now taken down the play. No call there, though. Over for Boston Lozier. Lozier. Pass off for Chapdelaine. Ball sent out of play by the Brownies now. 1 minute now remaining in regulation. 1-1 tie so far here. As the clock will get stopped here. And we have a timeout taken by Agawam. So we'll step aside, ladies and gentlemen. 5:51, 8 left on the clock. Coming down to the wire at a 1-1 tie. Stay tuned when we return the remainder of this second half. By Fitzgerald. Agawam looking to come back the other way, possibly with numbers, though. Delane with a good burst of speed back up field. Agawam will have to work quickly here. As play is stopped, and we have another timeout. Yes, we do. We have another timeout here taken by the Brownies. So we'll step aside once again. 37 seconds now remaining in regulation. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Champions play here live on Pope Prep. So ball will get sent back into play here now. 37 seconds remaining. What will be the game-winning goal by either side now, as a throw-in coming from Aiden Lavelle. Jadis, good header out of the zone. Agawam trying to get things going, though. Zenda looking to keep things back. Walsh with a good kick to center field. Delane, Pope Francis maybe with one more offensive rush here. Kicked back into the zone by Lavelle, though. As taken down the play is Poulin. Graham with the save. Kick all the way up past the center field mark. Has to work quick here now. Last 10 seconds remaining in regulation. Jadis, middle. Aiden Zenda. Back for Sherbin. Lozier has to fire a shot off. Won't get it, though. Is there a handball, though, on this play? Pope looking for a call. I don't believe they will get it. So that's the way this game ends in a 1-1 tie. Sherbin and Keating. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have the Cardinal postgame. We'll break down what we saw and what we hope to see in the games upcoming. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, live on Pope Prep. This game ends in a 1-1 tie. Pope Francis's losing streak has come to an end, but back on the tying streak is not what we like to see here, but certainly a tie better than a loss here. As what could have been the game-winning goal by Carlos Vindez called off. Officiating staff, I'll say not doing their best this game. Not to call them out or anything, but regardless, fans both ways not liking any of the calls. So that's the way this game ends at a 1-1 tie. Peter Keatling with the one goal, the opening goal for the Brownies, and Dante Shervin, first to tie it up and put this as a 1-1 tie. So Shervin and Keatling with the goals of the game. So an unfortunate end, not a win, not a loss, but a tie here. So Pope will now go to 2-1-5. Agawam to 1-3-4. As this is Don Percy, the voice of the Cardinals, saying so long from Springfield. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a nice night.